Go.
Welcome to the Science Jam, where I, your host Jamiyah, make technical topics easy and fun to learn.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Science Jam, where I, your host Jamiyah, make technical topics easy and fun to learn. Okay, so let's get into it. Did you guys remember whenever there was the broom challenge? And NASA said, okay, the broom can stand up and remain standing on this specific day. This specific day. I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. The broom will stand up any other day. But let's switch topics again. Have you guys ever ran into a wall, maybe bumped a corner too quickly and felt that pain? Yeah, because I know I have. You feel real dumb afterwards, but we've all done it. Let's change topics again. How am I standing up right now? Because there's gravity, right? It may surprise you, but the broom standing up, me standing up right now, as well as that pain that you feel whenever you turn a corner too quickly, is all caused by the same force. And that force is normal force. So for today, as you already know, we're going to be talking about normal force, which is a contact force that surfaces exert in order to prevent objects from falling through, right? Normal, I know that sounds very odd, but normal meaning common or expected, such as it's expected for me to be standing on this floor right now and me to be not falling through, right? Okay, so a little bit more about normal force before we get into explanations and a little bit of experiments. What we're going to do is we're going to just draw it out for you. So what we like to call in engineering terms is free body diagrams, where a mass is a point object or a dot. But for you all, because I know you all and I love you all, I'm gonna draw a stick figure because it's much easier to look at. So, as we know, normal force is a contact force, meaning that two surfaces have to be in contact for one to be exerting normal force. So let's say me, for instance, standing up right now. Here I am, perfectly drawn, completely acceptable. My weight is pulling downwards. Weight, please don't get this confused, because many people do. Weight is not the same as mass. Mass is a concept of matter, whereas weight is your force due to gravity. So, in my comments below, I want you to tell me, does your weight change as you get closer or farther away from the earth? Meaning, if you're in an elevator, do I weigh lighter or am I heavier? You tell me. As you know, remember, weight is your force due to gravity. Weight, does that change? Or does your mass change? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Okay, so we're going to switch topics again. And in this video, we're going to be switching topics quite a few times, but in the end, it's all going to come together. So, I want to tell you all one of Newton's laws, or maybe two of them. There's actually three of them, but we're not going to worry about that third one. We're just going to worry about the first two. And what the first one says is that force equals mass times acceleration. If there is no acceleration, there is no force. Make sense? All right. So, Newton's first law. F equals ma. Force equals mass times acceleration. Another Newton's law, which is where our normal force comes into play, which is where that pain that you felt comes into play, which is where that broom standing up comes into play, which is where normal force comes into play. Everything is going to come together. I just need for you all to bear with me, please. Second, have you ever heard of action equals negative reaction? That is exactly what we are seeing today. So, action equals negative reaction. Meaning that with every force that is applied, there's an equal and yet opposite reaction. So, with me pushing on this wall right now, the reason why I'm not falling through the wall is because the wall is pushing back on me the same amount that I am pushing onto the wall. Reason why I'm not falling through the ground in this stick figure is because my weight is also being applied upwards in an opposite direction known as normal force. Okay, so now before we get into an example, I want you all to comment down below whether you think that your weight changes when you're in an elevator, or does your mass change when you're in an elevator. If you think weight, comment down below weight. If you think mass, comment down below mass. And if you think neither, then comment down below neither. Okay? Do that right now. Also, just a good hint, weight is your force due to gravity. As we all know, elevators accelerate and decelerate. Alright, so now we are in the elevator, and of course we know that the reason that I am stationary right now is because the force that is pulling me down is this exact same force but in the opposite direction that is keeping me up and keeping me stationary right now. So let's go to, let's say, another floor. So now we can feel the elevator pulling me up, but the elevator has to make up for the weight that is not only pulling me down, but also what is needed to pull me up. Does that make sense? So we know that my force due to gravity needs to make up for the force that is also needed to pull me up. So now we're out of the elevator. So the elevator was not only able to make up for the weight that was pulling me down, it needed to also take into account the weight that was needed to pull me up, that net force that we talked about in our previous video. So now we've learned that exactly the force that is pulling me down is the same that is keeping me standing up, only in an opposite direction, because as we learned, action is equal but opposite reaction. Correct? So that is all for today. Thank you all for watching. Please tune in next week for another episode of Science Jam, where I, your host, make technical topics easy and fun to learn. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share with your friends if you learned something new today. Thank you guys, and I will see you next week.